pretty camel.
Soft and floppy on me, so it's nice and firm. I can put a little bit of pressure, but it's not necessary. But because I usually travel doing this as a class, some of these students sometimes they get all very excited, you know, and then they squash the heel. So I put the foam there just to give you a little bit more body to the heel. But it's basically that's what it is, and you can go as high and as little you want. All right. At my age, I don't walk in these heels anymore. But once upon a time I did, not anymore. And then, of course, you need a little piece of styrofoam. Right? It can be any thick as you want. That just means you're gonna increase, you know, the heel of your shoe. But this is a good thickness. It has 2 fingers. And but you can do anything you want, alright? So it's a little piece of styrofoam. I cut on the shape of the heel. I gave a little sand on the front, as you can see, because most of the women's heel, it goes a little bit up on the front, if you observe the high heels. So that's all I did. And I hot glue there, and then I hot glue my piece of a high heel to the back, just like that. I put the skewer there, and I hot glue the skewer inside the heel so it stops moving around. So you can go as big as you want in here. If you're gonna put on top of a double barrel cake, maybe have this bigger, so it doesn't move around too much. So this is very stable for you. And you can also put a little bit of wood skewer under the styrofoam, so that stops your heel from moving on transportation, right? Or you can transport your shoe in a styrofoam piece separate, and when you come to the venue, you put the shoe on top of the cake. Alright? That's fun. Sounds alright? Yeah. All the templates is on my book, so if you have any difficult, I bet you that if you Google search Verusca walk a high heel shoe template is everywhere, because you can't stop it. So it went viral when I used to do this for a company called Learn Cake Decoration Online. I used to teach online with this shoe. So because it is amazing technique. You can do it in advance. You don't have to worry about weather, or if a client call you, because they do on a Friday afternoon, I need a cake for tomorrow, like you don't have nothing to do, you can do this in 2 hours or less as you get quicker. Alright? So now that we have our structure made and hot glue and ready, all we're gonna do is cover, and I'm gonna pass around so you can have a look. You can pass around so everybody can have a look. So basically all we're gonna do now is cover this, so when people look at the shoe, they will think it's all edible. Alright, so that's the idea I'm selling in here. And it's really basic. I usually start from the bottom, so I turn my shoe around, and I will start cover from the bottom. So you can choose any color. Can you imagine the amount of the combinations of color that you can create? And you can change the design to it. Doesn't have to be exactly like that. One, because it speeds my process, and other because I know that all my shoes are gonna look the same. They all gonna have the same thickness, so that improves the quality of my work too. But most of you in here make your own fondant, looks like, doesn't it? Yeah, in Australia we lazy, we just buy it. I'm struggling a little bit with this fondant because it's very soft. So I usually on the pasta machine I use the number 1. Now I'm gonna try to copy this glue. that's my preference for making this shoe. So it's basically CMC with water. I do the day before, so it gets very jelly. You can't put too much water on this structure, and you understand why, because it's cardboard. So that's why I like to make really thick, like a jelly. And then I'm gonna just put a little bit on the paper and on the styrofoam underneath. Put the fondant there, and then we just cut the excess. You can cut the excess with a stainless knife. Usually I use a brand new stainless knife so you don't get any breaking or anything, because you want a nice and clean, finish. But when we turn this shoe around, now I understand why you say it in the microphone, because now we're gonna be competing with Rose, and she is loud. Alright, so I cover the underneath of the shoe. Now I'm gonna cover the heel. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue in here, just because I have a little space there. I'll put a little bit of fondant there, but it's not like you're gonna see this. Yeah, it's just to fix it up, the little space you have there. So, but you see what I'm doing? I'm just basically just covering everything up. Then I put a little bit of glue on the heel, just enough so things stick too. Choose your second color. In home I don't know if you saw my videos on YouTube, but I have a pasta machine that I got from Dubai, and it's a little bit bigger, so I can put it bigger pieces, but this one is very tiny. And then using the cementine plates that I did the heel, I'm just gonna basically cut around. I'm gonna cut my batch. It doesn't have to be perfect. I was going to show you the trick with the stamps. So I have these stamps that a friend of mine in Australia created for me, and they have little designs, and basically what you do is you put a little bit of gold on the, oh, you got it. You put a little bit of gold on the foam, and you just put your stamp on top. I just give a little tap so it takes the excess out, so you don't put everywhere. You can see that. And then you just put against the fondant, a little pressure, so it's uniform, and you lift and you got the imprint there. Can you see that? Yes. And then this design you the other design. You put on top, little pressure, and bang. So you're not using a lot, you're not having trouble with like stencils, you know, that sometimes you put the stencil and you put the gold and then you're gonna take the stencil. So this is just a much simpler idea, quick and easy for you. And sometimes it's not necessary, I just spray it into the alcohol. It's just alcohol. Vodka is better. No, everything is better with vodka. So what this does is it's just make the paint absorb to the fondant quicker, and because vodka dries really quick with air, it means I can pick it up and work with this really quick. Alright? So then I put against my shoe, and then I'm gonna wrap around. Now, of course, if you can see here on my shoe, I put a different color on the bag, so I don't have to worry too much about the seam, because I'm gonna put another color on the top there. Can you see what I'm doing? I know it's hard because I'm backwards. I'm not touching too much, right? Because there is gold there, so you have to be very gentle, right? But look, trust me, the first time it will be hard, I'm not going to lie, but then after you get the process, you'll be fine, right? I know, because I make it look very easy, but you know.